Hey ho ho, my name is Short, and this is Warhammer Quest, where last time we managed to make our way through a dark dungeon in order to find this miserable minstrel's silver lute. As promised, and perhaps surprisingly, given your unusual guide, there is indeed a hoard of gold, and in one chest you find a silver lute that has the unmistakable whiff of enchantment about it. That's concerning. With the treasure collected, you make your way back to the surface and find the minstrel balanced on top of a dilapidated wall. He looks down at you with a delighted smile as you emerge into the evening gloom.
Victorious, I see. I knew you'd be. Now, have you the lute? Give it here and I'll play us a merry ditty all the way to Siegfriedhof.
Well, minstrel, this lute I find quite suspicious. Also, I believe that we are in need of some extra payment to cover our grave injuries.
What?
There's something not quite right about this annoying musician. Besides, the lute is nice enough. It's probably worth a pretty penny to the right buyer anyway. With an unseen signal, your party all agrees on the same course of action. Suddenly, your largest warrior charges forward into the crumbling wall that the minstrel has stood upon. He comes tumbling down along with the ancient stones, some of which trap his legs, spinning under the great weight.
How dare you, he squawks.
Your party pays him no heed as they walk along the crack back towards the road.
We had an understanding. That lute is mine. Fine, you want the truth? I'm the Bandit King. They call me the Grey Minstrel of Siegfriedhof. I'm famous, you know. My boys are just in the wood. They'll come at my summons. When there'll be trouble, he calls after the adventurers. Then to himself, gods, this signal was me playing the lute.
What an idiot. You have escaped the dungeon and the Grey Minstrel's trap. The lute is not much good in your hands, but it's worth a fair few crowns on the open market, which you'll easily get when you reach the next town. And with that, we've managed to avoid a horrible ambush and perhaps a horrible fate at the hands of this terrifying Grey Minstrel. Now, back to Siegfriedhof. Your warriors dally on their return to Siegfriedhof, spending more than a few nights out in the open. When they arrive back in the town, they notice that Siegfriedhof is busy. A nervous energy permeates the residents, and crowds are drawn towards the main square. Your party follows the human current, curious as anyone to see what is happening in the center of the square. Upon a raised stage, a long but sturdy wooden pole extends upwards with a length of thick rope attached to the end. Dangling on the rope, tied to it by his ankles, a familiar figure sways like a human pendulum as he flails about, the watching masses caterwaul and pelt him with rotten vegetables. Some even strike out with improvised cudgels, should he swing into range. The adventurers recognize the hapless victim as none other than the Bandit King himself, the Grey Minstrel. He must have been caught whilst your party was dawdling on the return trip. The warriors push their way forwards, keen to find out what's come about and even gloat if they get a chance. Despite the swing motions and upside-down perspective, the Grey Minstrel spots your party as they draw near.
Greetings, says the Grey Minstrel, smiling in spite of his predicament. I promise revenge, and I have you right where I want you, he says while swinging overhead, barely missing a large marrow thrown from the mob. Don't worry about this, it's all part of the plan. I have his daughter, you see. He points with a flailing hand. Your party turns to the Burgomeister standing firm just beyond the rebel with a grim visage, and flanked by the town's watch. He's waiting for me to give up the location. I'm only going to tell you lot. It's a trap, you see. One you are going to walk right into. He won't kill me while his daughter is alive, and if she dies, well, he'll kill all of us. I'd go find her if I were you. The Grey Minstrel breaks off as he's hit in the face by a large sudden cauliflower. With that, the town watch march forward and surround the adventurer. The annoying musician is right about one thing. I don't think they have a choice about this.
The Grey Minstrel's Revenge. Ooh, and what a cunning plan it was. Though we're still selling his loot. Idiot. Let's see, cooking spices and some weaver patches. I guess we'll just equip those leather boots to someone who needs it. Like... the Slayer? He could use it. +1 toughness would be very handy, but maybe it would be better spent on our warrior priest. Would it? Yeah, he's more of the tanky person of this group. Yeah, definitely. And with that, I guess it's time to go back adventuring, or do we do something else quick? Maybe head on over to the Temple of Sigmar. Let's see. How much does praying cost? Ah, Sigmar is not listening. Sorry, Gunther, not today. Maybe will he listen to someone else? Let's see. $50 to pray. Ah, sure. Meditating. When activated, the warrior's chance to hit with melee attacks is increased by 30% for the remainder of the turn. Oh, that's actually, that's pretty handy. Yep. Lost for 1 dungeon. And that, ladies and gentlemen, is why you should pray. Pray more often. The Troll Slayer Shrine. Let's see what Thorgrim can get. For 75 golden crowns. The Troll Slayers are impressed, and usher the Troll Slayer into the inner chamber of the shrine, where only the most exalted Troll Slayers are allowed to access. A Demon Slayer is so taken with the exploits of your warrior that he offers to paint a particularly impressive tattoo on the Troll Slayer's arm. This is a singular honor, and the Troll Slayer leaves the shrine feeling even fiercer than usual, ready once more to seek his own death at the hands of a powerful monster, as is the Slayer's oath. Again, same text box. Okay, yeah. Lovely little piece of lore there. Your warrior is employed by a local merchant to carry bales of cotton to the riverside area for the day. You have received 20 gold. Ah, alright. Let's see, then the last bit, the Grey Wizard. Let's see if we can go to the temple. Please, Sigmar, the winds of magic have not been kind upon this wizard. Aid me! The gods are not listening, and the pleas of Court Schwarzhand go unanswered. And so his poor luck continues. And I think that our best course of action with that is to just go on adventuring. Actually, what's the Adventurers Guild? What does it do? Oh, I guess it's just all of our adventurers in one place. Are we able to see what they do? No, that's just all of them in one place. Alright, off to adventure! Let's see, this is recommended level 1. We can do that. Another story dungeon. Let's see, same party, same party. Your adventurers have followed the Grey Minstrel's haphazard directions and have come upon a foreboding entrance into the depths. The armed escort of Siegfriedhof guards halts here. They're clearly not keen to accompany your party in there. Look on the bright side. If you fail to save the girl, then the Grey Minstrel will share your fate. But if you are successful, a rich and powerful Burgermeister will be in your debt. But will he honor that debt? That's the question here. At least that's my question. Let's see, just put you back here. Troll Slayer to the front. You that way, you over here, and with that we end the turn. Quick, simple and easy. Onwards. Where we encounter night goblins. Yep, just regular old perfectly normal night goblins. Let's see. The optimal spot for the Slayer to be is right here. where he can hit the maximum amount of Night Goblins, if he is successful in actually hitting them. Which sadly, of course, he is not, but I guess we're gonna have to take what we can get. Let's see. Well, if we're here anyway, might as well. Nope, not today. Good things guns never tire, or at least for as long as we've had it, guns have been a pretty stable investment, seemingly. And as you can't cast any spells, we might as well just have you try and stab a goblin. Which you fail. That's saddening. Using shadow daggers right now would not be very wise of us, as it would also hit our witch hunter and a warrior priest. So, oh yeah, I guess that's also possible of happening. The Ring of Jade, which usually just heals our warrior priest, sometimes also has a chance of taking damage, and apparently it happens to all of our adventurers that are directly nearby him. I didn't actually know that until now, but now I know. Let's see, and I've still been forgetting the prayers. This will be a bit of a recurring theme throughout the entirety of the playthrough, because I just kind of forget those always. Let's see, are you able to... Ooh, you are able to use Healing Mist. Who needs it most? I think it's the Witch Hunter right now. And with that we end the turn. Ah, see, that Ring of Jade actually worked. And now our Witch Hunter has Iron Resolve. As you may have noticed, every turn he gains a little bit of willpower. Eventually you'll be able to do some interesting things with this willpower, but for now, all it really does is give him some extra weapon skill, ballistic skill and strength. Which I guess for the early levels is very handy. Or at least handy enough. Should we just continue? We don't really have a particular whole lot of movement, but if we keep dallying around here, we might just get ambushed by yet more goblins. And what do you know? It was the wise move. No, that Ring of Jade really isn't doing us any favors right now, is it? And the Healing Mist also isn't helping. Particularly because we... Oh, powers unseen. Oh, that's the god thing. Oh, that's how it works. All right. Okay, so, nah, I think we should eat the stone bread a little bit later on into the dungeon. Also, it might be wise to not have everyone just centered around our warrior priest like that, considering the Ring of Jade. Then again, sometimes it also does that apparently, so it's a gamble at best. And snotlings. Hordes upon hordes of snotlings. Actually kind of cool that they are in groups of 4 in this game. I believe in the original Warhammer quest they would just be singular snotlings on very, very tiny bases. At least the miniatures were on very small bases. Let's see. Witch Hunter, stab. And shoot. Blam. One shot, 4 dead snotlings. Makes perfect sense. Bam. And we've got nothing left for you to do. Let's see. Winds of Magic, not favorable, as is tradition at this point. And I think with that we have to... Nope, not ending our turn just yet. Call of the Brave, because using your prayers is useful. Fool, you guys can't actually hurt us. Yeah, as you may have seen, snotlings are very ineffective foes. Their strength really only does come from numbers. Even if it's just a singular, I guess, tile, or would you call it a unit of goblins? I mean, snotlings. Would it be a rabble of snotlings? I guess the correct term would be a swarm of snotlings, but there really isn't enough to justify calling this tiny amount of snotlings a swarm. I'm sure the wizard is able to take care of these guys. Maybe. Nope, that was a foolish move. One which we are now going to pay for. Or not. Or we're just gonna get away with it scot-free. If we're able to actually hit these very dodgy snotlings. Incredibly dodgy. And once again, guns are our saviors. And we get yet more Night Goblin finger bones. I'm still not sure who'd ever buy those. Except for an exceptionally crazed alchemist. Would it be a reagent for something? What use do Night Goblin finger bones have? Oh, finally, the actual Night Goblins. And not just the finger bones. Let's see, perfect place for the Slayer to be, right here. Gotta wonder, why are the archers in front? I mean, not all of the archers are in front, but there was one arch just right there. And why weren't these goblins helping their goblinoid brethren right here? They could have just swooped in and helped, but they didn't. And I kind of wonder why. Let's see, Winds of Magic are still absolutely pathetic, seemingly. And I guess with that we'll just have to do a little Call of the Brave, which is once again ignored. Because Sigmar does not love us. Alright. A fortunate miss once again. Well, nothing can seem to hit us with the exception of the Ring of Jade. Let's see. This time I'll actually remember. There we go. Bam! All of us! Perfect. Oh. An absolute slaughterfest, but... Oh, he can actually make it there. Perfect. He's coming for you, little Night Goblin. You little robed bastard. Oh, a potion of toughness. Wonder how long it lasts. Would it just be a turn? Doesn't actually say in the description, so I'm just guessing. Onwards. All of us, almost all of us, are all in at full health. Let's actually quickly look at our items. Potion of toughness goes to the Slayer. I'm sure he's able to use it. I also now just realized that we forgot to actually give the Moonstaff to the High Elf Archmage. I'm sure it'll be fine, it's not like we'll ever actually use the Archmage. Ah, perfect. But we won't be going any further than this because we won't break formation. Oh, an ambush. See, this is what I meant, what happens when you dawdle. The Night Goblins get you. And sometimes that really does not bode well. Let's see, try and get you into some cover over there. You're pinned. Oh, worst case scenario right here. Oh dear. Oh dear. Well, that's RNG. Sometimes you win, sometimes you lose. Or everything keeps missing. Well, at least they're not hitting the wizard, who I carefully placed over there in cover, as you can see. Oh, is that the first damage the enemy has actually done to us? If yes, it's pretty pathetic. Wow. What's that? Oh, actually. Oh. This might actually be a big one. Behold, the Shadow Bolt does minimal damage. Was worth a try. Can you move to a place where you're actually able to stab them? You can. Oh, and he actually does it! Okay. Oh, he's no longer pinned, so... Alright. First we'll see if the Slayer's able to get him, and then we'll just have the Warrior Priest walk right on back and use a Call of the Brave in hopes that we won't get hit. Of course, Sigmar's kind of being a cunt to us today and has decided to ignore us. Okay, Kurt, I believe in you. You can save the party by killing this bow goblin. Hooray! And that has gained us a Weaver patch. And thus we continue onwards, slowly as we go. And we have to wait up for Kurt over there just a little bit. Why not? The worst case scenario, we get ignored. Ring of Jade actually did some healing, and our dawdling once again brings us into peril. The exact same peril as just now. The only difference is that there's just one more goblin. Well, we don't take kindly to goblins. Do we, Caleb? So you're pinned. Wow. That kind of sucks. In which case, we'll shoot you. Blam. There we go. Actually, putting you in melee over there might actually be a good idea in this case. You might actually be able to use your Shadow Knives ability. You know, next turn, probably. And then Call of the Brave again. Hope we get some buffs, but we don't. And... still pathetic chance to hit, seemingly. Oh, except for on the Wizard. Winds of Magic. Ooh, that's handy. Shadow Daggers is go. And again. It's almost like a melee version of what's it called, Magic Missile from Dungeons and Dragons. Let's see if we're able to put you here. Then we can have a lot of chance of killing him, but we only need one seemingly. And we get some leather armor for the Marauder, which kind of looks like a Space Marine shoulder pad. Hey, you look at that and tell me that that does not look like a Space Marine shoulder pad. Let's see. And onwards. Eventually. Alright, had to deal with it a little bit there. Right back into the action. For as much as crawling through a dark dungeon can be considered action. Call of the Brave, please don't hit us. But Sigmar ignores us. And, ooh, suddenly a large slab of masonry falls to the ground with a loud crash. The whole room shakes and the ceiling starts to crumble. The dungeon is collapsing. You haven't got long. Find the girl and get out. Orcs. Behold our first encounter, our first actual encounter with orcs. Kind of exciting, really. Let's see, Scourge of Chaos or rather Call of the Brave. Let's see, what would their movement be? Movement 4. Might actually be best if we just take 2 steps back and then just shoot them from over here. Blam! Ooh, it's not a one-hit kill. That's something new, alright. And then Call of the Brave, just in case they do actually manage to get here. This is peak tactics. See? Can't reach us. Oh, we do actually have a turns remaining counter. Which means we do actually have to finish this this combat relatively quickly. So, to that end, I will now proceed to shoot this orc. Hit this one, hopefully kill it. It won't kill it, I guess. Hope for some good winds of magic. Ooh, they're actually pretty favorable. Not favorable enough, but... Yep, I guess that's the best we can do right now. Oh dear. 3 turns remaining. And all of the orcs are still standing. Not that they're very much of a threat, but we're gonna have to do a lot of kills per turn if we actually want to live. Oh dear, Healing Mist immediately, but we can't actually use Healing Mist right now. It's a bit of a sticky situation, it seems. Alright. Dead powers and... Okay, first things first. You... Nah, it's not a death blow. Oh dear. This is going exceptionally poor. Your gun is jammed. I mean, at least you know, at least your stabbing arm's still working. So that's great. Slash. And then I think the best we can do is 2 shadow daggers. And then we're just gonna have to hope that nothing actually hits Gunther, and that they go for a much juicier target of a fragile little wizard. Oh dear, that hits hard. Oh dear, please. Oh, fortune smiles at us once more. Let's see, this would normally be the part. I mean, I could just start spamming. Yeah, this'll work. See? Works perfectly, like a charm. A miss, but that doesn't matter because now we shank you, and then hopefully... Oh dear, please, Kurt, I beg of you. Holy hell, we did it. And we got ourselves an apprentice hood, which is once again something for the Grey Wizard. +1 power and -1 toughness. I guess it's kinda alright. I mean, it would offset the apprentice gown that he's already wearing. And once again, we are victorious. Thanks, Sigmar, for ignoring almost all of our prayers, except when it actually mattered. No problem, short, idiot. That's kinda mean. Oh, look at this. Gunther has leveled up. Despite actually doing the least amount of actual killing, that title goes to Calip. And Thorgrim, who has been doing surprisingly badly. Kinda weird. Kurt's been doing great in comparison to the last 2 times, which comes in part due to him being able to heal, and some clever AoE spells. And with that, I think... Actually, no, let's do the little text box at the end still, and then we'll wrap up this episode. The last of your party sprints into daylight just as the resounding crash and a large billowing cloud of black dust erupts from the dungeon entrance. Your party has escaped and saved the Burgomeister's daughter. This is just as well as he stands before you, flanked by the town watch once more. Alicia, he says, embracing the girl. He turns to your party. You shall be richly rewarded for this. I am in your debt. And don't worry about the accursed minstrel. He won't be troubling you or I again. He summons 2 guards forwards who carry a heavy chest between them. They set the chest down before the adventurers and then withdraw. The girl looks back at her saviors one last time and is then ushered away along with the Burgomaster and his entire retinue. Well done, heroes! You have received 500 golden crowns. And with that, the Grey Minstrel's defeat, we will end this episode of Warhammer Quest. Thank you for watching, and I do hope to see you next time. Goodbye.